I'll just say y'all, and then it keeps it Canadian. So, and then she looked at me and she started to cry. And I didn't get to be there for that. And I didn't know. Nobody is gonna see you the way you want them to see you. They're gonna see you the way they want to see you. And I think that makes me emotional. I almost hope he's watching this. Hey guys, what is up? It's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. I have my 2K Q&A today. Yes, we hit 2,000 subscribers and I am super pumped and excited. And it's actually the day before my birthday. I'm filming this, but you guys will be watching this on my birthday and I will answer one of your questions in here if you're curious to know how old I am. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you so much for getting me to 2K. I don't think you get how exciting that is. I just hit 1,000 a few months ago and I hit that next 1,000 even quicker, and I'm just super pumped because all I'm doing is making content that I love and I want to share with you guys and connecting with people in the comments. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should be, because I post on there often when I'm going to be doing something like this, like Q&As, or if I want to take like surveys or anything like that. So make sure that you're following me. Now, I have all of the questions here on my phone. I didn't include who asked the questions because I don't know if people want their information out there. And part two, also, I have a cold sore because it's a very stressful week. My car failed its inspection. I needed brakes, tires, pumping out videos. It happens. And I thought about covering it up with makeup and I said,
why bother?
Anyway, so also I spent about an hour before this video started fixing audio issues. Usually I use the Rode Go microphone, if you guys are curious. I can't make it work right now. So we're using my Boya, which is like a $20 microphone on Amazon. Go check it out, I swear by it. But nonetheless, we are gonna jump right into the questions. I'm gonna try and keep this video under 20 minutes because y'all know I can be long-winded. And I know I keep saying y'all lately, but it's because I'm following all these fabulous Southern women and you know who you are. So I'll just say y'all, and then it keeps it Canadian. So, all right, we are gonna start with the very first question, which is, how old are you? Well, right now filming this, I'm 38. As of tomorrow, I will be 39. I don't know why that one's bugging me more than any other age, but it is. What languages do you speak? I actually speak English and French. I am fluent in both. I would say I am fluent in Acadian. What do you do for a living? So there's two questions here. What do you do for a living and what did you do in the military? So there's your question. So I guess it's kind of a two-parter. I am no longer in the military. I was a full-time working mom. I was a soldier. I was actually an resource management support clerk, which was an RMS clerk, which was basically admin stuff. I still had to do soldier things, but I also had to know how to do payroll, administration, finance, all of that stuff. On my way out of the military, I was really falling in love with finance. I actually went to university and majored in accounting because I wanted to be an accountant. So I love money, I love budgeting, love all of that stuff. But I will briefly touch on why I'm not in the military. If you want to check out my other videos like my self-care tips and any of my vlogs, I go into a little more detail about the fact that I was medically released from the military for mental health and physical issues. I was released. I had severely fractured my pelvis early on in my career, which impacted a lot of my left side. My hip, my knee, my foot, and my pelvis are impacted. And I also struggle with major anxiety and PTSD. So in a nutshell. All right, the next question is a little bit about, if you guys watch my vlogs, you see that we do live in a home here and I like to show our yard and stuff. So it says, do you rent or own your home? Do you plan to stay there? And what is your dream home? So those were three different questions, not from all the same people. We do own, well,
The bank owns this home?
So Jamie and I, this is both our first homes ever and our first home together. So you know, when something's meant to be, it's meant to be. My soulmate, we got our first home together. Is this our dream home? Absolutely not. did it literally fall into our laps at just the right moment. We have 4 kids between us. He has 3 and I have 1. This house is like 1,200 square feet, but has 5 bedrooms. So everyone in this home has their own bedroom. And for us, that was bomb. That was the very first requirement. We also have a little bit of a private backyard for being pretty much in the city. So right now it's my dream home, but I'm telling the universe, I just want one like 3 times bigger because I have a lot of dogs and I need room for them to be able to play with less cars and less chances of anybody getting hit or anything. But we do have dreams and a vision board for what's to come. And maybe I will share my vision board with you guys. If you're interested in that, leave a comment down below. Love a vision board. Love the secret. Love the universe, in case you didn't know that. So this one was kind of funny. It was kind of generalized. It said, what is your monthly grocery budget? So if you guys are new and you just fell into my Q&A, hi, welcome, I'm Vanessa. I do grocery hauls. So at the beginning of all my grocery hauls, I always say what our budget is that month. Typically, our budget is $1,000 a month. I spend $200 a week on food and another $200 on household goods and pet products. Now, for a while, I tried to increase it. Remember, I'm in Canada, so food is just expensive here. Everything's just expensive here, honestly. But I tried to increase it a little bit and I was like, girl, you gotta get a grip, which is why I'm in the middle of a pantry challenge right now. So if you're interested in checking that out, go check a few of my What's for Dinners, my last ones and my last grocery hauls. I will try to remember to link them and it'll kind of show you where I'm at right now. I am trying to knock it to at least 1,000, maybe less. Trying to work out of my pantry right now. So again, I was a big accounting major, economics, finance, so I'm really into that. So I need to get this under wraps and I can do it. I'm confident that I can do it. Do you have any debt? Yes. Do you have a favorite cookbook? What's your favorite meal? Okay, so my favorite cookbook easily, and I don't have them out here, I'm in the garage and I wasn't really prepared for this, obviously. I have so many. I have been watching the Food Network since as far back as I can remember. That's who taught me how to cook, the Food Network and my mom. My mom taught me all that good home cooking, like feel it in the pit of your stomach, like makes you feel warm and cozy. So all those meals I share that I'm like from my childhood, those are bang. And that's my mom that taught me that. But when it comes to chopping and slicing and all the extras and garlic, like I don't think I knew what garlic was growing up. So that was Food Network. Thank you, Food Network. So Rachel Ray specifically, I attribute her. I have a ton of her cookbooks in the house. I also, Tyler Florence was a really big one that I liked. Ina Garden, Giada De Laurenta, she's a big one too. Anyway, there's just a lot of them. A lot of the OGs from like the late 90s, early 2000s on the Food Network. Any cookbook from any of them, I'm gonna watch it. My favorite meal? I didn't really prepare to answer these questions. And if you know, I don't usually prepare for many videos. And if you notice, I'm not drinking coffee. Water. We're trying to do better, guys. It's a whole new, you just wait for 2021. That's a hard one. You know what? If I had to say, so it depends on my mood. Like what's my favorite is gonna depend on what I'm going through. So if I'm just looking for comfort, I have shared it on my What's for Dinner. It is mashed potatoes, hamburgers, and tomato soup. I don't know why. I could literally eat that for 3 days in a row leftovers. So we'll just say that's my favorite meal. One last question about food was, do you like seafood? And if so, what is your favorite? Girl, guy, whoever sent this question, you know I'm from the East Coast in Canada and I love seafood. So for me, hands down, it's lobster. Lobster, lobster, lobster. I grew up in a town called Rishabukto, New Brunswick, which was like a lobster fishing village. And we just always had access to it. And it was relatively affordable where I was because we would go right down to the wharf, kind of haggle with the fishermen, or chances are we knew the fishermen, and would just grab lobster, go home, eat it. And it was really only something my stepdad and I loved. So it was kind of something that helped us bond. FYI, my stepdad came around when I was around 4 years old, so he is essentially my father. All right, another question. So it's all about Canada. It says, have you traveled Canada and what were your thoughts? So no, I haven't spent that much time traveling Canada. I have not gone past Ontario, and the only reason I was really in Ontario were for military reasons. My sister is 7 years older than me. She was an officer in the Army. She went to RMC and did all her training. So I used to go out there and visit her. That was my first experience, would have been like Petawawa, Deep River. So I have experience with like military towns in Ontario, but other than that, not too many. I did a little bit of traveling. I would say my favorite thing was going to Niagara Falls and checking out the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. That was probably one of my best memories there, and the African Lion Safari. I want to say it's in Hamilton, Ontario. correct me down below if I'm wrong and let people know where it really is. But I was like 5 months pregnant when I went there. I had mama brain. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I really enjoyed Ontario, believe it or not. Other than that, I have been to New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI. I haven't even been to Newfoundland, and I have family there and would absolutely
Die
to go visit. And I have a great friend. Her name's Carrie. She's an incredible photographer. I will leave her Instagram link below. I would love to see her again. She was somebody I was in the military with. That's one thing you lose when you get out, is you lose a lot of those connections. So if you're watching this, Carrie. Somebody else asked me a question, and this is from Tamara, and I won't say who she is, but you know who you are. She asked me what the significance of this tattoo was. So in my first Q&A, which I will make sure that is linked here if you guys want to check that out, I answered a lot of other questions by the ocean in Halifax. So if you just want to sit and chill with me for 20 minutes, go check that one out. Now, I did talk about some of my tattoos. Hey guys, I am literally sitting here editing that Q&A, still wearing that outfit, and I just checked my phone and I just hit 2,000 followers. 2K by my birthday. It happened. I have to tell you guys, I have been sending this to the universe all week. I'm like, I'm gonna hit 2K for my birthday, and I did. If there's something you want, just ask the universe. A lot of my tattoos are dedicated to cannabis because that is just kind of a mission that I am on. I don't know. Honestly, I started with one on my back, then it just grew. It's what happens. But this one on my hand, I hemmed and hawed over for quite some time, mainly because it's on your hand. I didn't get it till I got out of the military. Let's just be honest, I was going through a lot at the time, so I did get a lot of dramatic tattoos. The back of my head, I don't know. I got my head shaved yesterday. We'll see if you guys can see. So the back of my head is tattooed, and I just was doing things that were impactful and felt rebellious. I'm not gonna lie. I just was like, bam, I'm doing this. I'm getting my hand tattooed. I don't care if you don't hire me. This, I feel like I've been going through identity issues my whole life, if we're honest. Like, who am I? Who do I want people to see me as? But then you hit this age where you realize nobody is gonna see you the way you want them to see you. They're gonna see you the way they want to see you. Does that make sense? So I stopped trying to be what anybody else expected me to be and was just myself. So for me, I take this mirror and I can look at it. Obviously there's no reflection, but that's fine because I can see whoever I want to see when I look at this. I can be whoever I want to be, not what anyone else expects me to be. And I can lift it up to someone else and say, who are you? You can be whoever you want to be. I love this mirror. Plus, let's be honest, I love Beauty and the Beast and Belle, my daughter. That's my daughter's name. Where is it? Where's the tattoo? Somebody help me. There it is.
When you have so many tattoos, you don't even know where your kid's name is.
But there it is. So I have Belle's name here. I like tattoos. I think they're pretty. I think they're descriptive. And for me, everyone doesn't have a deep meaning. But like I said in my first Q&A, everyone is a period of my life that I can trace back to and tell you exactly where I was and how I felt that day. So, all right, so now we're getting into the nitty-gritty questions because I kind of left those for halfway through, because if you're still watching, then you're curious and you want to know. So somebody said, how did you meet Jamie and what is your love story? So I'm not going to go into the details of how we met. I will say we met through an organization called Marijuana for Trauma, MFT, which was at the time just an organization for veterans getting out of the military, struggling with PTSD, a man named Fabian Henry who has advocated and just literally changed the life for marijuana and cannabis in Canada and for veterans. I can tell you that right now. Go Google him, Fabian Henry. He's an amazing human being. Sorry, Jamie just let them out to pee, and literally they can't go out to pee without running in the garage to see mom, and I have the door open because it's super dark. So so we met there. He was a coach. He was just advising people on cannabis and the uses, how to use it, and just coaching people, talking to them. And after a few months of just being there, we just kind of connected. I had separated from my husband, and everything else is history. So we literally met within 3 months. We bought a house together. 2 months later, we moved in together because I was trying to get rid of my place, so he moved into the house. But within 5 months, all of us were living together. Our kids were living together. Literally, their kids hugged me. His kids hugged me the first day they met me. It was just It was good. You know when something is just meant to be, it's meant to be. Is it easy every day?
Heck no.
I am not sitting here trying to tell you that we are all rainbows and butterflies and hugs and kisses every day. I would say it's like a 70-30. We are two veterans with severe PTSD going through therapy, raising 4 kids together, and just doing our best. That's why I started this channel, because I needed something else. I needed a distraction. So here we are. Anyway, that's my love story. I adore him. He is probably the most important person in my life, and I don't know what I would do without him today. Next, I'll answer this question because it kind of ties into talking about raising our kids. A friend of mine, Caitlin, I'm gonna call you out, asked me, what is the hardest stage for raising kids? Now, my daughter's gonna be 10 in 2 months, so I haven't raised her yet, but I have done it for 10 years. I have been raising my stepkids for 3.5 years. Not raising, I have been here supporting Jamie raise my stepkids. Their mamas and Jamie are raising them. That's another stepkid question. Check my Q&A part 1, and I talked a little bit more about that. For me, I would say every stage is hard, Caitlin. Each one has its own challenges, right? Like everyone, I'm not like, oh, that was so easy, I would do that again. No, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that's over. On to the next one. And you're like, oh, wow, I thought that was hard. That's not trying to discourage, but for me personally, it's a learning experience, and especially when it's your first, you know, and I think, Caitlin, you have 2 kids, but for me, it's just been like, oh, wow. I would say right now for me, the hardest thing is the emotions, the emotional, especially when I'm a person. Yes, I've years of therapy, and I really am open book. I am an open book about that, but it's a whole other ballgame when you're dealing with your own kid, and a kid, you know, kids aren't overly open to opening up to you, especially once they start getting into those middle school days and years. So anyway, that's probably the hardest stage right now, is right now. Right now I'm in the hardest stage. I can't wait till she's a teenager. Lord help me. Anyway, I'm just checking off these questions, you guys. Did you I'm gonna get right into the weed question. So do you smoke weed or do you just support it? Because I wear a lot of clothing in my videos. So yes, I just wanted to come clean in my videos with you guys. I don't even know why I said come clean, because it's not something I'm ashamed about. It's just something I wanted to be honest, and I am open and honest about everything that goes on in my life. That's what this channel is. If it's happening under the Random-Ness roof, you guys are gonna hear about it. That's it, unless it's super personal. Like when you ask me how much debt I have, I'll just tell you that I am in debt. I'll tell you how much. Okay, it's not that bad, I'm just being an idiot. Anyway, yes, I smoke cannabis, I ingest cannabis, I use it in oil, capsules. I actually have 2 whole videos all about cannabis, one talking about why I use it, and the second one more in depth about the methods that I do and how I make my own medicine. I am actually in our medicine section of the garage right now. Right here, you can't see it, is a giant press that I use to make rosin, which is another form of cannabis, which I have shared in that video as well. So go check it out if you want to see this $3,500 machine that's beside me that I'm smacking. But yes, I smoke cannabis, and you should too. But talk to your doctor first, because I'm not an expert. All right, so these questions are a little more in depth, and you guys, I'm sorry, this video is already over 20 minutes. I love you, and I hope you're still watching, or take a break and watch the rest. But these questions are a little more in depth. I'm going to say, this was a big one. So it's funny because I don't talk about my biological father in my videos, but obviously somebody has picked up that I don't talk about him because someone said, do you ever have contact with your dad? So when I say my stepfather, his name's Bruno, has been around since I was 4 years old. I am going to be 39 tomorrow. For 35 years, this man has been my father. He has been my mother's husband. He has been my father. He is my child's poppy. So he is it. He has been my male influence in my life, and an incredible one at that. And I think that makes me emotional. I knew this was gonna be a hard question. Have you had contact with your dad? I almost hope he's watching this. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to see him on special occasions. He would pick me up for my birthday and right around Christmas, and other than that, I don't remember. But I remember until I was about 8 years old, well, roughly my daughter's age, maybe a little bit earlier, he would come and get me, and he would pick me up and bring me lobster. That was what I always looked forward to on my birthday, which is funny when I say what my favorite seafood is. Yes, he used to pick me up, come get me, bring me goodies, little boxes of like Willow Crisp, those Nielsen chocolates that you used to be able to get. They were like 99 cents at Shoppers Drug Mart when I was a kid. So he would bring me to his parents, which was my mamere and papa's house. I remember an aunt and a cousin, and I remember random things. I have very strange memories about my father, if we're honest. But they're very revolved around food. So let's be honest about that. Very much would sit me in front of the TV to watch Scooby-Doo with a bowl of chocolate. A bowl. Rosebuds and macaroons and chocolate, and feed me. And I don't remember spending any time with him or doing anything with him. So I remember my grandparents, and I'm sad because they've passed away. And I didn't get to be there for that, and I didn't know. I was young. But that hurt me when I was young because that's part of my who I am. So as much as I know I had a man and raise me and take care of me, there's still something about, well, why didn't he want me, right? I mean, I'm a grown adult now and I don't necessarily feel that, but as a child, oh, I felt it. I felt it. But the last time I saw my father, I was 19 and I worked at Tim Hortons in Rishabukto. And a man was in line and I was like, that looks like my dad. And I had just started there. I was in training and a huge line of customers, and he came up to my line. And this is probably, I was like, and he's like, you ordered? And he kind of smiled at me like, like, holy, like, this is my kid. Like, I knew, we both knew and nobody was saying anything. Do you know what I mean? And there was a woman who was kind of working at Tim Hortons at the time and couldn't tell you her name. 20 years ago. What are the odds she's watching this? And as soon as I served him, I said, I'm sorry, I have to go take a break. And I ran to the back, and I ran to the back room, and she came and she followed me, and I was bawling. I was bawling. And she said, what's the matter? And I said, well, do you know who that man was? She said, why? I said, what was his name? She goes, I'm not gonna say his name. And then I said, that's my father. I mean, what kind of weirdo is 19 and isn't quite sure what her dad looks like? And then she looked at me and she started to cry because she said, oh my God, you're little Vanessa. She said, you used to come to my house when you were a little kid. I don't remember what the association is to them, or I don't remember any of that. I just remember that day being like, and she gave me a big hug and was like, I'm so sorry that you have had to experience this, that you are going through this. She said she didn't know what happened or why he didn't want to be in my life, but it's probably the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me because I just felt so vulnerable and so like, oh my God. Anyway, I bet you didn't know when you said, have you had contact with your dad, that it was going to be a loaded question. Anyway, about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, my godmother, I reached out to her because she knew him and she was in that circle, but she told me she hadn't heard from him in a long time. And I said, well, if you do, could you reach out and let him know that I would like to connect? I was about 36, probably. I said, not in any capacity. I just want to, even just messenger, I just want to connect. He has a wife and kids now. I mean, those are my siblings, right? Anyway, at the end of the day, he wasn't a good man. When I was in high school, even before that, I think, I don't remember exactly what period, he was arrested and sent to prison for selling drugs, hash. So he wasn't a good person, and I was embarrassed about that when I was in school because everybody knew who my father was, and it was really freaking embarrassing that my dad was in prison. I grew up in a trailer park, you know, loved my upbringing. My mom's amazing. I had a great life, and we had the best that we could with what we had. And she made that mini home trailer feel like it was everything and amazing. But All right, so the last 3 questions are related to weight loss surgery, Crohn's, and all of that stuff. So what kind of weight loss surgery did you have? And the other question that goes with it, do you recommend it and do you have any regrets? So really quick, because this video is getting long, I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery, full-on bypass. I had it, I was about 360 pounds, my BMI was 44. It was a lot. So I had it while I was in the military. I had gained a lot of weight as a side effect of medication and PTSD and depression. It was just not good. I was still maintaining my physical requirements and my testing and my PT and all that, but my joints were starting to feel it. You just can't carry that 200 extra pounds and expect, you know, that your body's not going to revolt a little bit. So I had a Roux-en-Y. I had it in Montreal at a private hospital that the military paid for. Do I regret it? Some days I do. I will be 100,000,000% honest. And some days I don't. Some days I tell myself, this is why you had it. Because I have had it, it's been 5 years. 5 years in November since I've had it. And I still want to stuff my face. Today, right now, this crying, I want to stuff my face in the basement in the dark and watch 7 hours of Sex and the City. That's what I want to do today. I'm not going to, because I've done enough work on myself to know that that does not help me. That does not put me in a good place. Ever, 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 ever. So 90% of the time, I am very pleased with the fact that I got this surgery, but I would say about 10%, I regret it because I can't cope the way I used to. But that's why I got the surgery, to stop coping unhealthily. That was the only way I could stop. I am telling you, there is not a diet that I have not done. Ask me in the comments down below. I have done it. And you know what? They all work, but it's hard to stick to any of them. And for me, I just had to start limiting the amount of food I could ingest. And it was cutting my stomach in half that did it. Here I am. Unfortunately, the next question is, how long have you had Crohn's? So within about 3 years, I don't know, I'm guessing 3 years after my weight loss surgery, my gallbladder severely filled with stones, to the point where the doctor said that's the most stones I've ever seen in a gallbladder. And he brought 7 other doctors in to take a look at my ultrasound. I drove myself to the hospital, throwing up out the window because Jamie had to stay home with the kids. So my gallbladder came out and everything just started going bad. After weight loss surgery, honestly, it wasn't that serious. I was like, why can I still eat everything? I was actually furious. I lost weight healthy and slow after I had weight loss surgery, 80 pounds in the first year. That's normal. I didn't have 500 pounds to lose, so obviously I didn't drop it all at once. Then I got sick with my gallbladder and I all of a sudden couldn't process anything, lactose intolerant. Well, that happened before my gallbladder came out. For probably 6 to 8 months before my gallbladder came out, I was suffering. I was
Suffering.
dropping weight, getting super skinny. I lost 100 pounds in like 8 months, I'm telling you. Like, I lost so much weight so fast. I will try to include some pictures here. You can see my bones sticking out at my shoulders. Like, I was so thin, way too skinny. Ended up seeing a gastric specialist, referred to by my doctor. He's a veteran doctor. And basically said, after lots of tests, colonoscopies, and you know it's 2-3 years of testing before you even know what you have. So a lot of invasive testing, samples, ruled that I had, she put on the sheet, Crohn's, colitis, and here we are. I don't have a bag. I'm not that excessive. I am not in remission right now. I don't think I am. I have been on a couple bouts of steroids. I take budesonide. I do not take prednisone because I've heard that it can really affect your emotions. And with PTSD and anxiety, I do not need any extra help in that area. So yeah, I am probably going to go on another bout of steroids. I'm thinking in the next few weeks. I have a follow-up with her, and I do take injections, which I get, I don't know, I think it's like every 8 to 12 weeks. I'm losing track, but it's called Entyvio. You've probably seen it on TV. Another option for somebody with Crohn's is like Humira. You see that on TV all the time, but they all have insane side effects. So do you have any regrets? If you had asked me that last year, easily would have said yes. Well, not easily. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, today, no. Nope. What's the point, right? Like, what's the frickin' point? It does nothing. It does not bring me forward. Can I reflect on my past and recognize errors in my decisions and recognize that I didn't like a behavior? Absolutely. Do I regret the path that I've taken that's led me to where I am? Heck no, because look where I am. Well, you can't see. But I have an incredible daughter. She's amazing, and I know we're going to grow up and be best friends. I have 3 incredible stepkids. My stepdaughter, my oldest stepdaughter, is amazing. She's so talented. She's so freaking pretty. I can't even handle it. My stepson, he's amazing. He's gonna be an amazing athlete. My youngest stepson is amazing. These are happy tears. You know, I morphed into this little family and I couldn't be stinking happier. I met a man who takes care of me, who loves me, who nurtures me, who allows me to be who I am, who's allowing me to do this. Allowing me. No man's allowing me to do anything, let's be clear. But we support each other. And it's a really good feeling. So, you know what? I don't regret anything. Everything brought me here. I was gonna say maybe there's one thing, but that's not something I'm ready to talk about with you guys. And that's it, guys. There's my Q&A on my birthday. So if you follow me on Instagram, I've been saying, guys, I've been singing, I'm gonna get 2K on my birthday. I'm sorry if I do that stupid accent, but that's who I am. So turn the video off if you don't like it. I always wanted to be a New Yorker, okay? And I'm doing a really bad New York accent, but they're sassy and I like them. So I've been running around the house saying, guys, I think it's gonna happen. At the beginning of September, I had 1,862 subscribers. That was 9 days ago. And I said, I think I'm gonna hit 2K by the end of the month. And then I was making jokes. I'm like, can you imagine if I hit 2K by my birthday? So the last 4 days, I'm like,
I'm gonna hit 2K for my birthday. I'm gonna hit 2K for my birthday.
I did. You know why? I believe in the secret. And I really believe that if we put out positivity, we will always get that back. If you're going to spout negativity and end your day with all the things that went wrong in it, if you're going to end it with all of the reasons why you're not going to succeed, if you're going to end it with constant negative self-talk, you're going to wake up and receive all of that in abundance, okay? It's going to pour on you every day. You're going to end your day negative and it's going to start that way. I wake up and I meditate for 5 minutes every morning and meditate. You're like, I sit there and I breathe through my nose and out through my mouth. I do that for 5 minutes. I listen to music, whether it's even just listening to Kira from 50 Shades of Mom and listening to her do her grocery haul. Anything that's going to calm me, that's what I'm going to do for 5 minutes every morning. And then I'm going to do it at night. And I'm going to find my peace regardless of who's around me. And I'm going to find it because I'm telling myself I deserve it. I'm telling myself it's here and that I've received it. And I'm going to live a life of abundance. And I cannot emphasize that enough. I don't care how crazy I sound and how nuts you think I am, but I believe it. And if you believe it and you feel it in your soul, you're going to have that too. I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I can't wait for this weekend. I am going to my best friend's house to have a bonfire tomorrow and enjoy my birthday and probably have a couple drinks and just reminisce and enjoy this beautiful fall weather. I also have Fall Food Fridays going up tomorrow, sharing you my Acadian chicken frico. So if you want to hear a little bit more about my childhood, I'm going to chit chat with you guys in that video. But that's it, guys. I'm so happy that you stuck around this long to get to know me. I can't believe anybody wants to get to know me, but thank you and I appreciate it and I love you guys for it. And I will keep pumping out content that is staying true to me, authentic, organic, and just randomness. All right, guys, I love you. Take care, and I'll see all of you in my next video.